Let's go deeper into the world of Bad Monkey, the highly anticipated new show on Apple TV+. The show is based on Carl Hiaasen's 2013 book, which already sets a high bar, because Hiaasen's great at writing both funny and serious stories. Vince Vaughn plays Andrew Yancey, a character down on his luck but ready for a comeback. The show looks like it'll be a wild ride. So why is this one of the most anticipated shows of the year? Well, let's find out. Bad Monkey is mostly about Andrew Yancey, who used to be a detective in Miami. His career went downhill after he did some questionable things, which isn't strange for a person like Yancey, who seems to have a devil-may-care mentality. He ends up as a restaurant inspector after being demoted, which is a long way from the exciting job of a detective. In this case, the guy has seen better days and is stuck in a boring job he hates. You can imagine how frustrating it must be to go from chasing crooks to checking kitchens for health code. The work that doesn't make you feel like you're making a difference. The story starts with a splash when a tourist fishing pulls in a severed arm. Things get really interesting now. The arm obviously is a big deal, and not just because it's a sad discovery. It also points to a bigger puzzle. Yancey jumps at the chance to look into it because he sees it as a chance to make things right and get back into the action. He thinks that figuring out this case might help him get back to his old life, or at least something close to it. Vince Vaughn, who plays Yancey, seems like the best person for this part. Vaughn is known for having great comic timing and being able to play characters who are both likable and deeply flawed. Watch movies like Wedding Crashers or Dodgeball. He plays bad guys a lot of the time, but you still want to help him. Vaughn gets to play a more complicated character in Bad Monkey. Not only is Yancey funny, but he's also a man who has failed, is frustrated, and really wants to be forgiven. Vaughn should have a lot of ideas for writing about this character because they are both funny and sad. It's just as interesting to see the supporting players. You may know L. Scott Caldwell from Lost. He brings a lot of experience and weight to the show. Rob Delaney, who is best known for his work on Catastrophe, makes it funnier. Also in the cast are Meredith Hagner, Natalie Martinez, Alex Moffat, Michelle Monaghan, and Roland Pete. Each of them brings something special to the table. This wide range of actors makes me think that the show will have a lot of different characters, each with their own quirks and stories. And this is typical of Hiaasen's writing. Hiaasen writes books set in Florida, and the state is often so important to the stories that it feels like a character. Bad Monkey is set in the Florida Keys, which gives the story a more real feel and mood. Florida, and especially the Keys, are famous for having a strange mix of natural beauty and weird life. A place where the sun's always out, but there's always a cloud hidden somewhere. Because it is both light and dark, it's a great place for a story with both funny and sad themes. The show takes place there in Florida, and that means there's lots of different characters, from strange locals to sketchy tourists, and all of them add to the story. The way Bad Monkey mixes in different types of music is one of its most interesting parts. The scene looks like a crime scene. An arm's been cut off, and there's a case to solve. However, it's also a dark comedy, full of strange people and situations that are both funny and strange. Hiaasen's work is known for combining different types of music. He's known for writing stories that are both funny and satirical, about important topics like corruption or damage to the environment. Even though it is tricky, if you get it right, the series can be really interesting. We can get a sense of this mix of tones from the clip. In the beginning, Yancey talks about his absence, which sets up the fall from grace for his character. Vaughn says the lines with a mix of fun and anger, which shows how complicated Yancey is as a person. The next few scenes give hints of a plot with lots of turns and strange people and situations. The dark comedy part comes from the fact that the whole thing seems silly. On the other hand, there is a deeper theme running through it: morals, redemption, and how far people will go when they're desperate. The people around Yancey are also very complicated. Hiaasen's world doesn't always have clear-cut good guys and bad guys. Instead, there are a lot of characters who aren't clear on what's right or wrong, and each has their own secrets and motives. The show seems to understand this, with characters that are just as broken and complicated as the main character. Each person, including the police, shady business people, and strange locals, seems to have their own agenda, which makes the story even more interesting. Another important part of the show is Yancey's character arc. He is not just trying to solve a crime. He also wants to prove something to himself and the people around him. That old story about the loser, but with a twist. Yancey isn't like most heroes. He fell, in part, because of what he did, and now he needs to figure out how to get back up. He is very easy to relate to because of this. We all have had mistakes and have failed at things, and seeing Yancey deal with it makes his journey even more interesting. Key to the story are the ideas of forgiveness and finding out more about yourself. Yancey has to face not only the problems in the outside world, but also his own flaws and fears as he digs deeper into the story. This trip inside is just as important as the plot outside. It gives the story more meaning and turns into something other than a simple procedural crime story. The problems Yancey has made him a more likable character, and his way to redemption gives the series more emotional depth. Another cool thing about Bad Monkey is that it could be used to explore bigger social and environmental issues. A lot of the time, Hyassin's books are about important things like how greed can ruin things like politics and the environment. With its special ecosystem and history of environmental problems, Florida is a great place for these themes to take place. The finding of the severed arm could lead to the discovery of bigger problems like crimes against the environment or politics in the area. This would make the story more interesting and give the show a chance to make a relevant point about things that happen in the real world. The possibility of humor is another interesting aspect. As a matter of comedy, Hyassin uses humor to criticize and bring attention to problems in society. The show looks like it will keep this practice going by using its strange characters in crazy situations to make deep points about the world. Bad Monkey could be both entertaining and thought-provoking, whether it's making fun of government red tape, criticizing the tourist industry, or looking at the bad side of paradise. Also, don't forget about the style and look. People love the Florida Keys for their beautiful beaches and green mangrove forests. The photography of the show could have a big impact on how it feels and what it's about. The darker themes of the story could be balanced out with a bright, colorful background, which would add to the show's dual nature. There are many chances to see something unique and memorable, from beautiful sunsets to creepy, swampy scenery. This visual depth could make a Bad Monkey a stunning series to look like, which would add to its draw. While we wait for the launch, Bad Monkey has a lot of things that make us happy. Together, the strong cast, the interesting plot, and the unique tone of Carl's world should make for a series that is both fun and makes you think. It seems like the show isn't afraid to mix styles and deal with heavy topics in a light way. And Bad Monkey looks like it'll have something for everyone, whether you like crime tales, dark comedies, or just good stories. The fact that Apple TV Plus is involved also adds to the excitement. The streaming service has been known for its high-quality original material, and Bad Monkey looks like it'll keep that up. Apple TV Plus is known for letting artists go as far as they want with their stories, which is good news for a show that likes subtleties and depth. Because the platform cares about quality, Bad Monkey will likely have a strong story and high production values, from the actors to the photography and everything else. In the end, what makes Bad Monkey so exciting is that it can surprise and please people. Carl Hyassin's stories always have twists and turns that you don't see coming, and this version looks like it will catch that spirit. It looks like it'll be one of the best shows of the year, with dark humor, interesting characters, and a story that'll keep you guessing. There's a lot to look forward to, whether it's the unknown arm, the interesting people, or the exploration of deeper themes. So mark August 14th on your calendar. It's not often that a show with this much history and promise comes along. Bad Monkey looks like it'll be a wild ride with lots of laughs, mysteries, and maybe even some surprises. This show looks like it'll be great for everyone, whether you've been a fan of Carl Hyassin's work for a long time or just looking for something new to watch. As random and fun as the Florida Keys themselves, get ready for a show. So, are you ready to watch this uniquely amazing show? Share it with us in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed watching today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.